What's up, homie
Oh, I
Holmes?
joined the live session. Look at me. I'm on the live session, but it's not working. Well,
That's
it's
so
so
funny.
freaking delayed.
Your phone is dead as shiz. Hoo. All right, so we're not 100% sure what we are doing our live on or our podcast on.
No one's even listening. No one loves
Listen,
us.
it's gonna
I
record
told
and
you
people
no
will
one
watch
loves
this
me.
afterwards.
They only want you. Do you love my love games? All right, let's do it.
Are we doing it on stocks and savings? Are we gonna tell stories? Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the Take It or Leave It podcast. I'm your host, Evan,
And I'm your co-host, Sam.
or host, and I can be the co-host, however you want it. Today we're going to be talking to you guys about savings and the stock market. Why are we going to talk about savings in the stock market during a national pandemic when the economy is about to crumble into nothingness? By the way, we do want to state that we are not licensed financial advisors, so this is purely for entertainment value. If you do want to listen, that's cool. If you don't, awesome. Just know that it's take it or leave it, or take it or leave it. Really, we can't give any structural advice, but we're going to give you guys our 2 cents on the idea behind banking and stock market investing.
Yahoo! Evan's more of the pro of this. He's been doing lots of research, and he's the one with the stocks.
Sam's got some.
I just make the money and send it over to him, and he knows what to do with it.
Really, Sam and I are, obviously most of you guys know, for those of you who don't know, I'm Evan.
And I'm Sam.
And we are living in Georgia in my parents' basement trying to save up as much money as we can so that we can invest in ourselves and our future. That being said, a lot of people think, well, I'm going to save a ton of money by putting it in the bank. While that is a great idea, and while we still do that, there are opportunities and ways to help and make your money grow faster than, say, a savings account from Chase Bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. Those options for saving are an option to keep your money extremely safe, but at a very slow growth rate. So I think it's like, what, 1%, if that? I always look at like 2 pennies at the end of the year.
It's in a savings account.
Yeah.
It's 0.01%.
So very small returns based off of the amount of money you have invested into the bank or savings account.
Like if we have $1,000, we earn a penny.
So that being said, I want you guys all to listen and think, how can I make that money grow faster? How can I make the money work for me? You're keeping that money safe, and that's what a bank is for. But
Correct.
The bank is using that money to invest, to create and grow money.
For them, not for you.
Excuse me. Yeah. So when I started to save up a ton of money, well, a ton of money to us and a ton of money to whoever's listening might be completely different. But we realized, let's save up enough money to where if we needed so-and-so amount of cash on hand for emergencies, we could. So as soon as we hit that number, we thought, all right, anything else we're going to put into the stock market. Now, a lot of you are thinking, well, let me ask Sam. Sam, what's your initial thought when you hear someone say, I'm investing in the stock market?
That show that says all the most efforts.
What?
The
Wolf of Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street. I think of the stock market that way because I know it's like that's what it's known for. So that's like my first thought. But then I think you like Warren Buffett, you're investing in your future. Your money's going to grow faster, but there's also more risk. I think of like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Basically, a lot of people either think on a good opportunity to save and earn money faster, or you're going to lose all your money, become a gambler or a stock market addict, and waste away in penny stocks. Sam and I are intelligent enough and do not diminish anyone who does day trading or penny stocks, but we decided to take the blue chip / dividend yield return with our investments. That being said, the stock market right now is pretty, what's it, volatile? Volatile? What just happened?
Our sound just went out. Oh.
I muted us. Okay. Why'd you do that?
Oh, because I thought it was going to be permanently busted. Man, nobody has hopped on the live. What?
Is it Command B?
Wow, what's all that stuff?
I accidentally muted it, guys. Sorry, my little pop filter hit the mute button. What I was saying is we decided to find stocks that give us a better dividend return, which means we get money back just for owning stock in that company. They pay us for letting
them use our money.
having our money. We picked very safe companies. We picked companies that have been around for a while or that we know aren't going anywhere. Some of these companies might be Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Coca-Cola. It's just an idea.
We don't have Amazon stock.
No, we can't afford it.
I
I was just giving examples of
thousands
companies
dollars.
and stocks that aren't going anywhere. Again, not a licensed financial advisor, but that
we're in it for the long haul. Some people
yeah.
are in it to make a quick extra $50, $100, whatever. We're in it for the long haul. This is where we're gonna put our not all of our money, but some of our money, so it will grow faster since we're not making like a lot of money.
Yeah, just to put it into perspective, over the last year and a half of me being in Robinhood and only having invested substantial amounts of money, the last 4 months of my life, we've had a return of $800, which is not a small amount of
I think
money.
you should say how much you've invested.
We've invested a total of $5,000 into the stock market.
Now we're living in his parents' basement, so we don't pay rent.
And
well,
so
we pay
that's
a
nice.
small rent, and we don't have a whole lot of expenses because we don't have kids. And they've taken the interest off of the student loan, so we haven't been paying mine back, even though it's only a small amount of money. So that's what, if you don't have $5,000 to invest, that's okay. I think it's okay to start just with
I
a
started with
Robinhood,
$100,
just a little.
But in reality, $800 over the past year and a half is already way more money than we would have gotten had that money just been sitting in a savings account.
We probably would have gotten about 80 cents in the savings account.
So that's how we looked at it. We have a safety fund. We have basically a safety net of money if Sam gets pregnant, or if I break my legs, or if there's a car accident. We have enough money to where if there's an emergency, we have that liquid cash. Mm-hmm. That now all you robbers out there, it's not in our possession, it's at the bank. So even if you were to rob us, you couldn't get it. We decided to take some money and put it in the stock market because that's going to help us grow. And not only are we able to get money back based off of the value of the stocks, but like I mentioned earlier with the blue chip stocks, you get that dividend return, which means that money or that percentage they pay you back for just owning the stocks. I got like 70 cents from Rollins for owning 6 shares, which is, that alone every quarter is more money than I get back on the savings in a year. So that's how we basically put it out in our minds and plan it out on paper with our budget on how are we going to help ourselves get a better situation in the future sooner. But obviously we're not day trading. We're not buying one thing one day and selling it the next. Now, if it's going to go up 100% in one day, yeah, you might see me cash out and then buy it when it drops again, because that's the nature of the stock market. What goes up must come down. What goes down might come up depending on the structure of the company. But really, we want you guys to understand that when it comes to banking and budgeting and finances, don't be afraid to take the risk. Don't be afraid to, step into some waters that you might not know. Do the research. I did a lot of my research on YouTube. I did a lot of my research reading. I didn't read books, but I've read books from business classes in college and been taught by business teachers. The stock market isn't something that you should necessarily be afraid of, but you should be very aware of the power of the stock market.
And I would say, just like with savings, where it's like, okay, so I'm going to set $25 aside every paycheck, or I'm going to set aside $500 of my paycheck, split half of it. If you're willing to I'll use Robinhood, sign up for Robinhood, you put $12 in your savings of the $25 and $12 into your buying power into the stock market. You might not buy something right away, but then it's there available. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm putting in $100,000 in the stock market.
That's a lot of money.
It's $50 here, $100 there, $5 here. And it's the same principle. You're just putting it in a place where it can grow more, which is awesome. I think we could also talk about some of the other ways we're hustling, other ways we're trying to save money right now.
Yeah, so my little brother and I, we've started a power washing business for garbage cans. It's his responsibility to go out, knock doors, get customers to let us take their garbage cans, power wash them with Pine, or then clean them with Pine Sol Mr. Clean, and return them clean. We charge a small amount of money for that, but we get it done and we get their trash cans clean. Sam is...
Right now, so I'm obviously working my 2 jobs. Evan and I have jobs. I am trying to get more photography clients. That's another like side hustle. That's not as much of, that's more like a job, but I'm trying to get more clients that way. I also have Redbubble. Doesn't make a whole lot of money,
Stickers.
so I sell stickers. Sometimes people buy notebooks with my artwork on it. So I just made $25 over the past year.
Hey, money's money.
If money's money.
Guys, that's a good note. Money's money. I mean, even if there's a penny on the ground, don't hesitate to stop and pick it up. Don't be ashamed of that.
I'm a money magnet. We listened to Secrets of a Millionaire Mind.
A lot of it was a little corny, but then it had some good principles. I think one thing that Sam is hesitant to mention, but she has a client that she's working with for,
Oh, yeah.
I guess you say, exercise and wellness. She teaches every week.
So what's going on is I give her, we focused on nutrition initially, so I just taught her some nutrition principles of how to plan out her meals, and we meet once a week, and she pays me monthly, and I'm hoping to have an episode soon where we talk more about why you should hire a coach for X, Y, or Z, whatever you're needing help with. And it's been really beneficial for both of us. It's boosted my confidence and my ability to help people with exercise and nutrition, and she has seen a lot of changes, and it's only been a month.
The thing is basically don't limit yourself. If you have the opportunity or a couple hours a day, maybe start writing a book, maybe start a podcast. We would encourage you guys to kind of stretch yourself and grow yourself, whether that be for a hobby or just because you actually do want a little bit of extra cash on the side. There's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have a goal in mind, go for it. We always talk about kind of pushing yourself, not pressuring yourself, but pressure can be good. Pushing yourself to be better and grow daily. It's kind of an idea that if we're not growing or if we're not pushing ourselves, we're deteriorating or losing abilities and losing passions.
And don't, just because you think like, oh, well, I don't really have a marketable skill, that's totally, like I was thinking about the other day, if you've gone through a serious life experience like a divorce, adoption, something like that, you could write a quick 50-page ebook on your experience, what you've learned, do some research on maybe the general population's experience, and sell that for $25.
How
Even
and
if
where?
Online. What do you mean?
Where? How do you sell that online? Just like
so
online?
I would say like your social media would be, even if you have 50 followers, maybe one of them will buy it. You could invest a little money into Facebook ads. I'm not a huge marketing guru, so I wouldn't really say I know where to sell it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I think a challenge for a lot of people is, one thing I'm trying to do now is sell a lot of things that I don't use or don't want anymore.
That's another good idea.
It's working really well. Now, this is totally a tip from Gary Vee. It's like, if you have stuff around your house that you don't use, you don't want, or you don't like, sell it. Facebook Marketplace, I'm not good at eBay, so I don't sell things on eBay. I also don't understand eBay. But those ebooks, those podcasts, guys, you guys know we don't get money from this podcast.
Nope.
This is strictly fun, or
Have we ever played an ad? Nope.
maybe ourselves. Like we've shouted out a few things, but
Yeah.
really, if it comes down to not knowing, you
Hi,
guys
Jenny.
should just understand that we are here to basically grow and develop. When you have that opportunity to make a little extra cash, that's awesome. But maybe you should just find a passion, go with it, and if the money comes, cool. If not, at least you're doing something you love.
I think there's a saying that's like, find something you love and the money will follow.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, obviously it's a lot more convoluted than that, but there's kind of a job for anything in this day and age of ebooks and coaching, and I mean, anything you can do online. Fiverr is another thing I consider doing. I have a page on Fiverr. Fiverr is where you can get like what's it called?
Artists,
Freelance, that's the word I was looking for digital stuff, for
vocals. Like I could technically record through the podcast or through the microphone and do voiceovers.
yeah. So anything like that, that's another way. If you have like a tiny skill, or something like that, that Fiverr has tons of options of things you can offer, and it might be something that you can do quickly, but someone else who needs to pay you to do it couldn't do it as fast. So you add value, so they pay you for it. And I mean, that's obviously a job. That was kind of an unneeded explanation, but there's a lot of like, it's not limited to what we've listed
They're like
today.
fun knick-knacky things that you can do to kind of bring in another source of income. It's not passive income because you would still be working, but maybe that ebook becomes passive because you've written it 10 years ago and you decided to publish it finally or put it on the internet. These ideas for finance, saving, and I guess you say budgeting goals, there's so many options and opportunities that sometimes we just don't think about or look into that can really help us achieve financial freedom. Something that we're trying to do is just save as much money as we can. Obviously, we invest in ourselves. So we just bought this, we bought a ring light for our YouTube channel, for our basically podcast or Instagram Live or whatever it is.
Or TikTok.
The podcasters can't see this, but we invested in this microphone that was not cheap, and it's made the quality of our podcast that much better. Sam mentioned it's not necessary to have the best of the best of the best quality, because that kind of adds and builds character within whatever it is you are developing. Our podcast was not as good as it is now when we started, and nor should it have been.
Yeah, I think that there is no one way to skin a cat.
No way.
If you have a savings goal, there is more than just like setting aside a couple pennies a month to get you to your savings goal. Even if it's by offering to babysit, making that extra $20 every week and putting it directly into your savings, or setting that money aside for fun stuff and then, using more of your income to put into your savings. There is just so much that you can do and you have to offer, even if you don't think you do. You just have to start thinking about it and applying it. And I think that using social media is a ginormously free tool you can use to make money on the internet.
We hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to shoot us a DM on our social media platforms or on our email, which is takeitolevitpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. If you have any ideas on episodes or any suggestions for us, feel free to shoot us a message or even call us if you have our numbers.
Yeah, it means a lot if you leave a review, especially if you're on Apple. It means the world to us. We appreciate all of you for listening. We hope you guys get a little bit more financially free from what we've talked about today.
Look into some new options and try and stretch yourself a little.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
All right, live.
Whoa. There was like two of you guys who came on. Thanks, Jenny Kolb.
Jenny.
Kolb?
Yeah.
I know. I just don't know how to say her last name. Because it's 7, right? Jenny Kolb 7.
Miriam, hi. We just ended the podcast.
Is it Miriam Mama?
No.
Miriam, your cousin. All right.
It's my cousin, you dope.
Miriam
Hi, girl.
Malky.
Hope you're having a good day. Oh, look, she waved. I can wave back. We just finished up the episode. Oh, I didn't mean to switch it. Whoops. There's our dirty house. Whoops.
That's so loud.
That's so loud. I couldn't even hear. We're going to post the live afterwards, so you can listen to it then. Hope you're doing good. Miss you and miss Idaho. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening. Afterwards, because only 2 of you hopped on, but love you guys. Bye.